Good evening, guys. Can everybody hear me? Could you please confirm in the chat? All right. Thank you. So let's start with the futures, then we check a few stocks, and then we do some earnings predictions. So this was Friday right here on ES, the futures for S&P 500. And we reject the top of our zone here on this impulsive move, and we gap down right to this lower zone here, bounce from there, and this pink line is the 50-day moving average. We test there, it couldn't hold. Now it really needs to hold, ideally, this line here. I would not even want it to go again test this zone. It could just confirm a lower high here, and then follow this pattern and test this trend line. And so this is what we have so far. This is what I'm talking about, is doing like this. Every time it goes and tests the lower. So now we're here. We're back testing here. We pushed and we failed here. So now I'm wondering if we can't hold this level, if we're gonna do like this. So that's what we had to be careful with. We may be just going down from here if we can't hold this. So it's very important. This is intraday. Our daily key level is 29.3350, which, if I'm not mistaken, is right where this white line here is. If I expand here a little bit, you can see you have the key support there together with the key day zone. So that's going to be a very important area, these 29.33s. So we're definitely going to watch for that. If you're bullish on it, you want it to bounce and give it another try. Give it another try on this key resistance. So you want this to hold and push back up. Re-enter the zone, backtest and hold this time, and then try again at the 29.50s. But we'll see if we can hold here. So it's right in the between these two zones. So it's a no trade zone for me. It really needs to get to either a resistance or a support zone for me to enter a trade. I don't ever take anything in between. Let's check the Qs. So it has almost the same scenario as the S&P, but on the NQs, we already reject the key level for the month. We're almost there. And on the Q, on the S&P, if you guys see, let me reload again, that level is right here. So we didn't test that yet. So it's a little bit different scenario. It's still on a bearish, it's still on bearish setups. So we'll see if what we can do. Just follow those zones we talk about. Just wanted to point out that key level over there. So this is basically the same. It really needs to hold this key zone here, right here. Otherwise, we're gonna go and retest at least here. Please be blue. Please be blue. And there you go. So if we can't hold there, we're gonna retest this here, and it needs to hold again. But that's the question: is it going to hold or not? So we're playing this support and this resistance here. It's funny how we reject right at the top of this here on Friday. So we're gonna check those things. And funny thing is that they're both right there on the 50 daily moving average, which is a curious fact. Still doing lower highs and lower lows on our higher time frame. So we need to see what's gonna happen here. So far, it's still, like I said, on a bearish setup until it breaks the trend. Still trending down. It didn't break the trend yet. So we'll see. Intraday, we have the daily key level right there. It's retesting right now. So this is a very important support. We have the top of our zone and the daily support. If we break that, most likely we're going to retest the bottom of the zone and this 76.95. And this is the last line of defense, 76.87. So you have a very important support line here, support zone. Let's check the IWM, which is the RTY. Everything has exactly the same chart. So uh, the IWM has been a lagger a little bit. Everything already pulled back substantially, and the IWM is taking its time to get there. On contrary of the other indexes, this is entering the week on a bearish zone for the week. All the other ones are on a bullish for the week until it breaks that, yeah, the white line. If we can't reclaim this, the natural pattern here will be more downside. So far, this is what we're expecting until it breaks here. So if you're short, this should be your stop loss right here, this white line. Above that, we have here, so we have a strong zone on this. All over here is super strong, so it's gonna have a lot of trouble. Once it enters here, it's gonna be on watch definitely for short setups, because this is a very strong supply zone right here. You guys can see reacted many times to this level, many times to this bottom level, many times to this top level. So there's a lot of overhead on the RTY, the IWMs. So again, if until it breaks above this, it's still bearish on the week. Now, you see the difference, it's already below the daily support. So it is definitely more bearish than the other ones. So we can see there's some supply, some demand over here from Friday, like a little zone right here. So if we don't do a higher low based on this gap down from here, we're probably going to go retest down. Let me do actually a rectangle on the supply demand zone right here. So this would be like a speed bump. If can't hold here, then we're gonna go down. If it holds, even if it holds and go up, it still may go down because that's not a main key level. It's a intraday supply and demand. So it may do something like this and then go down. If bounces here, then it has to hold. If it holds, then you can enter long and put your stop loss maybe around here, 1492, and then trail all the way up to 1500. Let's check. The natural gas. Sorry, I was checking something. All right, so we broke below that key zone once more. This is a very important zone for us right here. We're still doing this. I'm not considering this big wick because this was a new related and it was right back up. So we're still trending, doing higher lows over here, and we're still doing higher highs. So to avoid breaking that pattern, what it needs to happen is a reclaim of this level, and then we need to go test over here to avoid breaking the pattern. So what it's doing right now, something like this. Come here, come here, come here. So what we were expecting, we need to have a higher high to continue this trend. So our next important level would be right here. So we need something like this, and then this time a back test here that holds either here. Let me prolong this so you guys can see. We have this zone. That's where it rejected Friday. Either higher low here or here, preferably here, and then continue move up. So we'll see if we can reclaim. Once we reclaim here, I think it will be a nice level to take along, at least for intraday play, and see if we can reach this level here. Now always remember to take partials, because we can just come here on the next zone and then reject and resume the downside. So always take your partials on key zones, and you keep the rest for break even. And if it doesn't stop you, then you can just either add on another long setup, or just enter again if you don't have anything else left. Let's check intraday. We're below the daily and below the weekly, right? So we're below key levels of resistance for the week. So that's exactly what I was saying. It needs to reclaim to be able to try breaking the pattern, to try to avoid breaking the pattern. If we reject here, then this has a serious risk of breaking this trend line here. And then the story changes a little bit for this midterm. You can call it midterm because this is what was what the week. So this mid trend here. Which could be also a bear flag, right? So keep an eye on that. It needs to keep doing these higher lows to avoid the bearish side. Let's check gold. Bounce right off of here. Right off the top of our zone. Yeah, ideally we want to hold this 1520, 1512.50 right here. We reject this zone, so that's a little concerning. So we need to hold a higher low on this zone, 1512.50, 1513.40, to try to reclaim this level here. We rejected 3 times already. So hold here, push, hold this time the bottom of the zone, and then do a push like this, and then we test the next zone, which is right here. Right there. Mark the top so we know the number. If I select the right tool, we could mark it. So 1528.40, 1530.70. So keep an eye on this key level here, downside line in the sand, 1512.50, 1513.30. Intraday is above the daily, so that's a good thing. It needs to stay that way. So we can extend our support zone from the 1512.50 to, oops, let me just mark the top of that zone that we just discussed, which is, come on. At this time of the day, my eyes are so blurry already. Right here. So we have this key support zone. The strongest levels are the top ones, but this would be like a last line. You see bounce right there. So keep an eye on that. It needs to stay above it to keep pushing, which right now is doing a good job at it. And let's see where we can take it. Last one of futures is oil. And we're below the key zone we have been talking about for a while, since down here. Let me delete this one. This was our central point right here, like a gravity point. And now we're below it again. Let's see. So we're trading inside this 52.55, 52.77 zone. Interesting. So you can see there's a lot of choppiness in this area. It's the same area that had a lot of choppiness as well before. That's funny. Chopped in the same place. Let's see if there is anything recently. No. Yeah. Let's check. Let me check real quick the 5-year. Just wanna check this out a little bit more. So we are at 52.66. See? That's how you find things. You dig in deeper. I'm gonna mark this pivot here. See where it takes us. Need a purple line. No purples to bottom. Okay. Let's open. Roku has many purples. There you go. Oh, reliable Roku. So I want to mark this pivot. Right here. Did I got the correct too? I don't know why he's not marking all the way. I'll check later. This is gonna form a little zone for us in between. Let's see what that takes us. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, so that's where it bounced. That was a very important level 5 years ago. So we need to reclaim the zone, right? It's going to be a rough one. Every time it gets under this, it struggles to get above it. Once it does a very impulsive move. Like here, look at this impulsive move. Here too. And we are waiting for this one to see what's going to happen. It's just not holding above it. Like it's struggling to hold above it. But keep an eye on this. If you want to go long, my suggestion is to wait for the bottom of the zone, or If you really think this is gonna go up and you want to get in right away, just calculate your share size with the stop loss below right here, maybe 50 to 38. Give you some room for this, all this chop doesn't all this chop doesn't catch you. If you're on a short, try to short at the top of the zone, and excuse me. And if you want to enter, like just like the long case, if you really think this is going to go down and want to rent right away, just calculate your stop, your share size for a stop, maybe at maybe you want to give it to the top of this candle here. So put it like 5304, 5305. Let's see intraday. Below the daily, the weekly is way up there. It's right here inside this zone. Way up there, 53.52. Right here. It's still not overextended to the downside. That's the only the R1, no, S1 for the pivots is at 50.48. So it's not even reached the first level of support on the pivots for the week. So it's definitely not overextended to the downside, even though the main pivot for the week is over there. So I would keep an eye on this 52.77, 52.80. And this 52.55. Right now, that's all that matters. Everything that happens in between doesn't matter. So just pick your poison and manage your risk. Now let's start with the stocks. Let's start with ROKU. So ROKU was just perfect all week. Like we did this drawing on on our last stream, and this was with what we were projecting, which was a push, rejection, backtest, push, backtest, and push to here. And it happened just like that. So if you follow the levels on our stream, you could trade ROKU every single day. And also in the chat, I was mentioning every single day how ROKU was stronger than the market, uh, that you could have taken a long on it. And once it got to here, I even noticed everybody to take your partial at least, because it was at a key level, which is the 108.38. It pushed through a little bit, but it couldn't hold. And we're going to see where we're going to go tomorrow. Now, it's still bullish for the week as long as it's above 104.90. So 104.90 is going to be our week level of bullish sentiment. And it would be nice like to have a pullback to that level. So if you're bullish, you want the ROKU to gap down. So you want it to gap down to here, and then we can try to push again. If you decide to go long, see any reasons to go long on this level, you have a $4 window almost for your trade to work, which is great. Taking that, the stop loss probably gonna be, if you properly put your stop loss, it would have to be right here below this pivot. So let's see. Like I would stop out here, to be honest, because I keep it always very tight. I don't like to. Once it breaks my pivot, I just don't like to stay. I always can get back in, mostly when you are agreeing on a trade. Most of the times I take my partials and then keep the rest at break even. So the first idea is to long Roku, see if we can get a bounce over here. If it goes down to this key level, what you have to do, you're gonna have to keep it very, very tight, because it can just do something like this, reject and then come back down. Now, from here to here is only $1.50, so you have to make sure that's a good risk reward. Take your partial, keep the rest break even. So long from here, partial here, see if you can get to here. That's the ultimate goal. I don't say the ultimate. The ultimate is always the pivot, the yearly, which is 114.65. But if it gets here on the bottom, we're definitely going to take some partials, serious size partial. So long here, take a partial here, see if you can ride to here. If you can't hold, gap down, can't break above it, you can take a nice short. First partial, 101.11. And second partial right here. I'll get it bigger. We still didn't get the 96.11, the downside that we wanted to take advantage and buy from it. We bounced right on the top of the zone, which is fine. Once it gets into the zone, we always looking for entries, reasons to enter. Let's put it like this. So we bounced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times on the top of the zone, which indicated there were a lot of buyers waiting for it right there. So you could have joined the party and run all this upside, which is like what, $12, like a $11 move, which is not bad at all. Let's see, intraday. Yeah, so our intraday level is 106.97. This is that white line that we wanted to catch the dip buy on it. So you could even take one more partial ahead of time from here, just in case that can break the main daily level, and keep your stop loss break even if you wish so. Let's see. Let's start to go quicker because it's already, I'm dragging. Oh my gosh. So Tesla is still working on that pattern we talked about, the symmetrical triangle right there. Like I said last week, is either the biggest bear flag in the world, or is gonna be a very nice breakout to 255 right here. So we shall see. In between of the time, we play intraday and making money off of it. That was so nice right there. That was a nice. I think that was the day we talked about shorting. We were talking about this level here, the 246s, 243, 242s, and it was very nice. I think some people in the chat room took this short. You see, just play the pivots, guys. Just play the pivots. You don't need to be the first. If you don't have confidence in taking those spikes or dumps into key zones, just wait for your own setup based on those levels, right? So if you didn't want to short this spike because it was entering this key zone, then you could have taken the retest, right? this is a 5-minute chart, so it's not going to show all the details, but it pushed through, came back down, couldn't hold this back test, and then just flush it. So it was a nice trade. Now we're trading, not counting a gap down or up, we're trading in between this 230.36 and 232.19. The main daily is 231.45. So that's gonna add a little bit more resistance to the zone. This is gonna be the key resistance. Rough to say if it's gonna gap down or not with the market. But if it does, this is gonna be our key support right here. This is right there where the trend line is. And once it gaps down below this, this is going to be included in our key resistance to 30.36. So those are the key levels to watch. 226.42 is our last line of defense. Remember we talked about last week how that was the zone to break to confirm to break and hold under for the break of the pattern, and the last line of defense was going to be this 222.69. It broke under, but it bounced right above that zone. So if you were long, a student and got stopped out there. So we'll see tomorrow what happens. Earnings for Tesla is coming end of the month. So about 17 days, so 2 weeks for the earnings. Just go back and see how it reacts usually. Does it run into earnings? Does it sell into earnings? 2 weeks. So right about here, run, sell, not consistent. This kind of was crazy. That was that crazy move we had. So it sold, but then run into earnings. Sold, but then bounced on this pivot and ran after earnings. But it did a little push and then sold before earnings. So it's not a consistent run into earnings mover. So we just had to play the charts. Just play those two zones and you'll be fine. Yeah, so that's the plan for Tesla. Microsoft. Yeah, once Microsoft breaks this 138, 30, 31, 138, 51, 138, 64, it's probably gonna be gone. Do I have a white pivot? I think I don't have white anymore. Okay, let me grab one. Right here. I want to mark this. Debating about this one. I'll take it. So this is going to be our key resistance. Once we break above this, Microsoft is gone. I'm not sure if it's going to gap down with the market, if the market is going to even recover, right? Which can happen overnight. Let me mark this pivot here, very important. So our key support zones are going to be here. The last line of defense is going to be this white line at 137.20. So let's see here. It may gap down a little bit with the market, but then push more after. We'll see. It was right about hitting that zone. Then the clock ran out and the market gap down. So if what I'll be watching in Microsoft tomorrow is the 137.20, 137.30. You see all these pivots. This is so much, it's a huge cluster. So 137.20, 137.31, 137.39, 137.54, 137.60, 137.74. All of those are key pivots. It's not like intraday pivots. You have these green ones, they're intraday pivots. No, all of those, other than the yellow ones, but those are the main ones. So it's just like the same weight as the higher time frame ones. So this is a very, very important support for Microsoft. If you saw dipping there, if you see dipping there tomorrow, watch for pattern to go long on it. If it doesn't hold, then you cut. But if you get long on this zone here, you increase your chances of success. Yes, it may not work, but you're gonna lose way less than entering, for example, over here, right? So just try to be patient, see if you can get your zone. You see how it goes up and down right there? It's gonna be right there. See that? Right here is gonna be here. So yeah, that's the key resistance, support, and key resistance right here. Now, I know you guys watch the SMB videos. I always post them on the library. And that's a very important thing, and I agree 100% with what they say. That is, fight for your price. Don't settle for less. Fight for your price. If you don't get your price, then there is no trade. Just don't settle for less. That's why I watch many stocks, like many, because I say 4. That's what I watch. I pick my 4 best setups based on the pre-market action and where it is located regarding our pivot zones. And I watch those stocks, 4 stocks. And the one that settles best, the one that setups best in my zone, when I get my price, then that's the one I'm paying more attention to. If the other ones are not doing anything, they're just dancing around, not getting anywhere, don't get to my price, I'm not going to take anything. If none of the 4 gets into the price, I'm not taking any trades. And that's how you have to do. Like, remember, you don't have to take trades. The market makers doesn't go into computer and say, oh, you have to take a trade right now. That's up to you. So LULU looks very interesting. Let me grab purple. I'll mark here. Why is not marking? That's so weird. All right. Needed some love. Let mark. Grab this blue. Creating our zones here. There you go. So once we conquer this zone, LULU is gone. I really like this setup. Now, I will not take a long here. You guys know me. I don't trade breakouts, and I don't take longs when it's pushing into the zone. What I need to do, what I need to see for my trading, so we have impulsive move here, is a push, and we see a rejection, and then I will grab down here. That's my ideal trade. Then we go for the push. This will be a textbook trade for me. Either this setup or a pullback to here, 191.74. That would be very nice to have if you can pull back there. Now, if you guys can see, you have a very nice trend line that just broke. You see that? Just broke. So let's see if we can get that back test, or at least this setup here, to enter long on LULU. So we're long bias LULU. And first target will be right around here. There. It's about $3. Is this all-time high? Looks like it. So this will be our target. Oops. First target right there. Have a small speed bump here. Let's mark just so we have a visual. Once it gets there, we don't get lost like what's going on. We know what's going on. It's hitting this pivot. And that's where we can take a partial if you want to. Yeah, I like the setup. Let's watch it tomorrow. Let's see intraday. Oops, man, I'm so clumsy today. So, yeah, if we can get a dip, that would be very nice. This zone here is very nice zone to dip. Right here. 191.74, 192.17. Our last line of defense is going to be 190.85 right here. So LULU is on dip buy mode until, if you want to give room, until it breaks 189.70. Let's see what else. BYND. BYND looking a little bearish for my taste. Yeah, this looks like a bear flag to me. Tomorrow, look at it. It's like almost a bear flag to me. The fact that it rejects the pivot and close it a little bit under, if you guys can see here. It rejected and then closed under the pivot. That's also a thing that I like to see if I'm looking for a short. So yeah, watch for it. This the key resistance is gonna be this zone here, 145.02, 145.94. That will be the end of the line for the shorts. So if you want to take a short, that will be your stop. The first target will be 141.24. If that breaks, it's going to be 135.85. Yeah, let's mark that 135. Okay. Oh, this is the problem right here. But I can't change because of Zoom. Let me find another stock. There you go. Mark that. That's actually a more important pivot than. Do I have any of that color? Well, I just changed the color later. This is the main quarterly pivot. That's a very important. It's a little lighter than this purple, but I'll change that later. So if we break here, it can't hold first target 141.24, then 135.80. Let's zoom out and see. Yeah. The last line of defense is going to be this 124.59, 127.94. So some people will even put over here at 120.50. But pivot wise, that would be the last line of defense, 124.59, 127.93. Yeah, I really like this setup for more shorts, for more downside. It even looked like a head and shoulders right here on this 5-minute chart. But let's watch for short. Amazon. Can't even type it. So Amazon bounced right off the key support zone, key pivot zone right here, bounced from there. And the clock ran out. I'm pretty sure if this had like maybe 3 hours left in the day, this is going to reject right here. Was going to reject. So yeah, let me just. I want to make sure I'm not missing any levels for you guys. Give me 1 second. Yeah, that's good enough. So if we gap down, yeah, tomorrow, oops, it really needs to hold this 1726.77. So we can have a little zone on the top of this. Right there. And that's going to be $17.22.28, $17.26.77. That's going to be our key support for the week. So Amazon did buy until it breaks under. If it's trading below it, that's going to be key resistance. So we short until it breaks above it. The key resistance is going to remain last that the yellow, the white line from last week, which is 1745, and so you can make a zone 1733, 1745 resistance on Amazon. So it's all going to depend on where we gap down to. If we gap down below this, you can expect to have a push to retest it. And then if you want to short, just watch for a setup from there. If you want a long, that's where you take partial. Apple. So this pattern worked pretty well, huh? Got it worked out. So you guys know what I'm going to say. Key resistance to 27.51. That's our pivot. It rejected once and now is getting back there. With the market gapping down, we may see a pullback to 223.57 before we go. I like this level as well, the 225.50. Maybe we can get a, if it gaps above that, I mean, it gaps down, but still above that, it may find some support right there. So I'm going to just do like this and keep an eye on it. Let's see. Yeah, see where that's gonna be in confluence with our daily key support to 25.71 to 26.13. So yeah, watch for dips there. If it dips below it, then you need to wait for a reclaim to enter if it's closed from there. If it's way down, maybe that 223.57 that we want, then yeah, you can ride all the way up to 225.71. Square. So Square is not lucky at all. Every time it start to showing some strength and close above resistance, the market gap down and bring it back down. So which it is hilarious. So if it was a regular day and there were no crazy news and market didn't gap down, I would say this is ready to go to 63.70, 63.97, which is our key resistance. So we'll see tomorrow. It maybe we gap we catch a dip buy. You see how everything is setting up the same, so you have to be careful and watch for those main stocks to avoid that it bring everything down. So when you're about to enter a long or short position, just watch what the market is doing, what kind of strength you have. Is the market a support? Is market resistance? So watch all that. It's going to be a tricky Monday, looks like. But so far, we're looking for dips. Now, if you break this, it's going to be all bad. 61.50. So a downside line in the sense 61.50. NVDA. It is right there. Reject again. So NVIDIA needed to hold this for another shot in break and hold in the 183.57. Question is where it's going to open with this gap down. Let's see where the market is right now. 14.50. So it went a little bit lower, right? Let me see. Let's put a 15-minute. Just so we can check what the market is doing. Let's reject the bottom of the zone. So we'll see if it's going to have strength to bounce from here. It really needs to. So let's mark our next deep buy on Apple. Purple, no, thank you. So our key last line of defense, key support is going to be right here. 178.16, 178.42. If we get down but we hold above the zone, will be ideal. 180.08, 181.42. Aiming another retest of this 183.57. This is our strongest pivot on the board, and it has been struggling to stay above it. Like here, it held a few days, but then just gave up. So it needs to catch Momo once it breaks above it. It would be very nice. Push over here, maybe break and hold and go to 192. Let's check. ETFC, E-Trade. So most of the brokers had a crazy sell on that news that Interact Broker is going to go have a 0 commission, and then everybody scrambled to lower their fees as well. So everybody lowered their fees. On each trade, it needs to hold. Let me change this. $35.81 to avoid this to be a bear flag. So we need to hold 35.81. If we break 35.81, then this trend line is going to be in play, and we may retest these lower levels again. 33.75, 34.08, and last line of defense 33.12. Now, if we can hold here, next target is going to be this 38. 38 is our next target. So there's a very nice room to go from there. So if I were you, I'll be watching 35.81, and that's it. That's the only thing that matters right now. And if you like to play breakouts, which I don't, watch for this level as well. That's 36.80. So watch for that. Yeah. Now let's see shop. That was a very nice bounce from our key zone. Now we're approaching resistance. Yeah, this is a very important zone. So watch for this. I'm gonna actually give it another mark here. We have a lot of overhead from where it is right now. Remember though that shop is a low floater. So many important levels. Let's mark all this. But the 338 is that top that is very important. So The first zone we're going to keep our eye on is going to be this 329.27, 331.16, then 333.89, and 335.78. So what we can do, we can split this in two so it's not too big. Right there. So far we're looking for a short setup. I would only trust longs on this if you can break above actually this 338, 343. So once it conquers, it stays inside the zone, then I'll be more confident in taking longs on it. Ideally above this 343, but right now we're looking for short setups on it for a 319 test. We mark this pivot was important last week. Right there. So let's keep an eye on this 329.27, 331, and the 324.79. CMG. Yeah, I'm still bearish on CMG. We're back testing this zone here. So ideally, if you want to take a short, it's getting to that best spot to do it so, because your stop loss is going to be right above it. And if we can break and hold this, I apologize. Most likely we're going to retest these 833s. So keep it tight, have your stop in place. Maybe this 328. Oh, there's so many good levels. Yeah, just keep it tight. You can always re-enter. Don't listen to me. Break and hold this pivot zone. Just get out and look for another entry. There was a very nice short from this level that I was basically calling it out step by step on it on the day it happened. So congratulations to everybody that took that. And let's see what we get tomorrow, right? I still like this setup, so I'm gonna watch it. Netflix. Yeah. So Netflix is gonna be gone once it can conquer this pivot. 273.82. We're gonna have a speed bump right here. Oops. Copy this. Right there, so that's the next target if we can break and hold that pivot. It's already marked from last week. Just extending. Yeah. So this one looks good too for long. If pullbacks all the way down here to 268.43 is still a good setup. Making a higher low here, I still like it. And then we try to push back up. So if we take a long here, make sure to take a partial on the back test of that pivot. So if it dips here, long, stop loss right below it, partial here, And next target is going to be this 284.74. I'm going to mark it for us. Because, you know, Netflix, when it decides to go, it just goes. Who knows if you can get that, right? Right away. That would be nice. Yeah, that's the plan. I really like this setup as well. Now, let's check Walmart. Almost done with the stocks. Oh, wow. Look what Walmart bounced. Oh, man. Right there. Pivot zone, guys. Pivot zone. 114.46, 114.68, 114.83. So when I give you the levels on the chat room, that's what I want you to look for it, okay? Just look for retests on those zones and see how it reacts to there and enter for your position. That's all you have to do. I already did all the work for you guys, giving you the levels. All you have to do is find your entry. Just find your entry. Marking this important zone right here. Right here. All right. Now we backtest this. This was the weekly's main pivot right there from last week. You flush through it, bounce from here, and then we just backtest. Now you could have taken long on the bounce of here. This one, I don't know intraday, but it looks like it didn't give you a chance. It actually gave you a short setup once you went below, retest the top and couldn't hold. You could have taken a short on it. And now we need to break above this white line. It's just simple as that. We have no bias. We just play the levels. Just play the levels, guys. Right there. That's the key resistance for Walmart. Right? So if tomorrow gap down and we pull back to this zone here, I'll be looking for long until it breaks lower. This zone is 117.34, 117.39. So 117.30s. You can look for that setup. Here. Just give you a better view right there. So key support right here, 117.34, 117.39, 117.55. If we can stay above that, we're looking for deep buy. If we break below that, I'm only gonna buy if we reclaim this or if we drop to here and then show signs of there are still buyers there waiting for it. So that's gonna be the only two case scenarios to take along. Now, it could be a test to go back down really good. So we have to keep it tight. Hopefully bounce from here and push. Let's check CMG. I did check CMG already. Disney, DIS. That was a nice bounce from the 127.59 pivot. Try 1, 2, 3 times from there. Now it's trading inside this key zone, key resistance zone. It's gonna be rough. So maybe with this gap down, we retest down here, 129.86, 130.24. It would be nice if it can stay inside the zone, but if it doesn't, this is the last line of defense, 129.86. If it can hold above it, then we're most likely going to retest this 131.70, which is going to be our strongest resistance of what it is right now. If we break and hold, 133.11, 133.59 is the next target. So it's on a very important level here. Definitely keep an eye on it as well. It's trading clean, so it should give you a very nice setup. Weeks. Oh, it's interesting. So we push through this key resistance zone. That's interesting. Let's mark this. Not this color. I want to grab a purple. This will be our last line of defense. Yeah, this looks nice. Too bad the market is gapping down. Sometimes it happens like that. Just need to be patient because it may flush and then reclaim really quickly the zone, but you can't just try to guess it's going to do it. Just wait for signs and then it's easier for you to play. So something like this would be ideal. Then a retest here. If you push it straight to there, that can be a little bit suspicious. But considering that this is the 200 daily moving average, we may want to do a zone using the moving average as the top of it. Maybe just gonna go retest there first before failing a little bit. So key support 122.59, 123.03. Key resistance 124.44, 126. Last line of defense 121.77. Now that's a last line of defense, not to completely pull down, but just to retest this key zone right here. This will be actually the real last line of defense, but I don't want you to hold from 122 to 119, so that's why I'm not giving you that. So if it dips here, we'll keep our eye on it. Keep your eyes peeled on 119.65, 120.15. If we can break this, 128.02 is the next level. Now let's check AMC is the last stock we have. Then we're gonna do the earnings predictions, which we don't have too many earnings this week, so it's gonna be quick. So this 940 is a very important level for AMC. Mark this level here. Has to be the wrong color. Stealing this purple. Marking over here. Okay. So I really would like this to fail, to be honest with you. I really would like this to do a rejection and then a retest on this key zone here. That would be the ideal. Mark it right here. The key support will be 927, 940. And our key resistance is 982 and 1005. 1015 is also a level. But if you count all the overhead this has, you're never gonna take a long on it. There's a lot of stuff going on with this. Just wanna mark the blue. Yeah, so those are the levels we have. Let's see if we can get a pullback to here. And you have to keep it tight, because if we break this, it may just go 852, 879. If we can break all of this overhead, 1060, 1070, 1070 is going to be our next target. 1064, 1070. Now let's do some earnings real quick. We have only 4: DPZ, DAL, LEVI, and FAST. Let's see what is the expected move on DPZ. $15.42. IV at 72% on the options. Let's see if there is any insight that the insiders transactions can give us. DPZ. So there was minus 10.86% transactions from insiders last week, which is we can suspect from that, right? That's exactly the same thing we saw on STZ right before earnings, and they missed, and it really went down. I'll show you guys really quick. So we had about 23% insiders selling before earnings, and we have a high open interest on the puts. So we were saying that we think was going to sell after earnings, and that what happened. Look at that. And remember, I don't know, go back and watch the video. You're gonna remember us saying that I really like the 191s. Look where it bounced from. 191. So that was a perfect projection we did. I got really pleased with that one. Now let's try to hit some more this week. So DPZ has about, let's say 15, so he's a round number. It's right there, big orange, guys. Rejected. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times big orange. It's only gonna go or run into earnings if it breaks above that. You can cancel Christmas. If it doesn't go and hold 20, 46, 73, it's not gonna have a run into earnings. Now you have a very strong zone here consistent of the main yearly pivot and the main quarterly pivot. So this is a very, very, very strong zone. And we're trading below it. And the market is gapping down. And insiders are selling. So there's a lot of things going on this that it makes me think that we may miss this. Still doing higher lows, but we are having problems breaking here. So if we beat where we can go to, so if we beat the projection is gonna take us to 264. Overshoot is gonna be here 272, 275. Did it wrong? Let me see. Yeah. So target is gonna be here. 263, 265, overshoot 272, 275. If really overshoots, then it's going to be 280. Now downside, 231. Let's see. $231. So downside would be 228.86, 233. Yeah, 233. So 228.86 to 233. And for overshoot, let's put the 5 years so I can look better. For overshoot, we're looking at 216, 222. That would be the overshoot to the downside. Let's see. DAL. Expected move about $2. Seems a little bit low, but let's go with that. Bounce right, reclaim the big orange, 5304. We're gonna have a run into earnings if we can break 54.35, 54.77. And most likely have a sell into earnings if we can't break that. Either if we can't break on retest or we sell below 5304, then we're gonna have a sell into earnings. This is gonna be what? $2, okay. So 54. So upside target, it would be 56.78. Overshoot at 58.23, 58.98. Downside, we can expect this 50.42, 51, 51, 51.50. So 50.42, 51, 51.50, and overshoot at 48.75, 47.62, 40, 48, 49, like 49. So 47.62, 49. Overshoot to the downside. LEVI. Expected move 1.20. We have been trending towards this key resistance. Run into earnings if above 20. Sell into earnings if below 1875. No. I want to say 1920. 1875, 1920. how much it is again? 1.20. Let's say 1.5. So earnings beat target is going to be 21.50. Overshoot at 22. Right here, 22.68, 22.89. Around that 23, near the 23, not exactly. The downside, it would be 1732. Let's say 1692, 1750. So 1692, 1750. Overshoot at 1544, 1590. And the last one is fast. 1.70 per implied move. There was a lot of volume on those puts Friday. 1,000 puts. The put side is way heavier than the call side. Yeah, if it was not earnings, I'll be shorting this for sure. I don't play earnings, so not naked anyway. There are many option strategies that you can play earnings safely without risking. Not so much. I don't know if you guys remember. I played BYND using a calendar on earnings, and it worked pretty well. I was risking like 27 bucks. So we're gonna have a run into earnings if we break above 32.09. Selling to earnings if we break below 31. 31, yeah. I want to see again 1.7. So let's say $2. Upside target on earnings beat 33.69. 34. Downside target overshoot. Overshoot at 35.50, and a really big overshoot if it happens is going to be 36.70. Now downside. The downside will be, no, it says better right here. 29.20, so 28.7, 29.20, overshoot at 27.50, 27.80, and let's say 26.80, 27.80, overshoot to the downside. So I guess that's it, guys. If you have any stocks that you want me to check, this is the last opportunity. If you have anything you want me to check for you for the week, I'll give you about 30 seconds to let me know what it is on the Zoom chat. All right, I guess that's it. Thank you so much for participating. See you tomorrow for pre-market trading at 7 a.m. EST, and enjoy the rest of the night. Take care.